Greetings, New Zealand naturopath Eric Backer, author of Candida Crusher and formulator of the Candida dietary supplements. I'm going to do another case history today. This is going to be, this case was actually written up in my book Candida Crusher. You can read it there. It's under case number 25. This is a lady called Mandy. She's 36. Now the names I'm giving you are not the patient's real names, okay? So I'm not giving you personalized information regarding this person. So Mandy's not her real name. She's 36. I don't generally tell you where patients live with these case studies, and I give different names. They're real cases, however, just to protect their privacy. Okay. So Mandy's a dynamic young mother with 2 small children. Mandy had boundless energy and is perfectly proportioned and whizzes around like a pocket edition of Wonder Woman, and was a driving force behind 2 successful businesses before she reached the age of 30. Mandy works out at the gym most days, breeds purebred dogs, drives a convertible sports car, and belongs to a couple of women's groups. When I first saw her as a patient, she'd just become the assistant editor of one of the most influential women's magazines here in New Zealand. Mandy's love life has been a disaster with many failed relationships. This lady is an extroverted perfectionist with excess energy, what I call a full-throttle person with the foot flat to the floor up to 12 hours a day. What Mandy hadn't worked out yet was that her super high achievement lifestyle never seemed to bring her that state of bliss or knight in shining armor that she was so desperately looking for. She was always making new friends and literally wearing out her old friends. I'd spoken with Mandy about the importance of the pursuit of moderation, and instead of her undertaking 20 things in one day, to say no to 10 of them and allowing more Mandy time. And this lady's thyroid gland was hyperactive. Is it any wonder? She couldn't switch off. She was always starting new projects and just going with them at full throttle. Mandy also liked to drink white wine, and she came to me with a rampant yeast infection which had been driving her crazy for 5 years. I spent a considerable amount of time with her, showing her different ways to relax, and the difference it made in time amazed me. It took less than 6 months for her yeast infection to completely disappear, and along with that I noticed a more calm and serene Mandy, who finally realized that her major priorities were not her career, but her relationships with those she cared most around her. I saw Mandy 2 months ago and was pleased to hear that she'd finally got married and maintained her daily relaxation sessions, and she also has stopped drinking alcohol. But the biggest change was not a disappearance of her yeast infection, it was a complete turnaround in her Graves' disease, hyperthyroid and perfectionism, and she'd come to accept that near enough was good enough. So many people are driven to perform for many different reasons. They grow up, they work too hard, they overachieve, and they keep thinking that happiness is going to come to them in the way of a big paycheck, but often it never does. I've seen many patients with plenty of money that are miserable as anything. So don't always think that pushing harder, working harder is going to give you what you're looking for, because it can often mean you'll compromise your lifestyle and your diet doing that. People who work hard tend to party hard, I find, and many of them don't eat the right kind of food or relax enough. They tend to get all the lines blurred between work and play. They tend to overwork and underplay, and when they do play, they think that alcohol is a form of relaxation. But it's not really the way to go. So in this case, once we got Mandy off the white wine and made her realize that it was, a contributing factor to the yeast infection, it made a big difference with her. So cutting out the alcohol for Mandy has allowed her to sleep better and wake up more refreshed and spend more time, thinking about how she can enjoy her life rather than just purely, pumping up business and making money, which really makes people happy in the long run. So I hope you learned a little bit from Mandy's case, about how these sorts of overachievers can get many kinds of health problems. Now, this lady is probably going to be more effective now with her new business than she's ever been, because now she's learned the value of daily relaxation and moderation and balance. And that's what good health's all about when you think about it. So I hope that's given you a bit of an insight into another case. Thank you for tuning in.